I'm Priscilla Barrera with the Investing News Network, and here with me today is Brent Cook of Exploration Insights. Brent, thank you so much for joining us once again.
Thanks for the invitation.
All right, so we're here at the Sprott Show in Vancouver. What is your main takeaway so far?
It's slow, but not as slow as I'd expect. In terms of the companies I've been meeting and talking to, there's still some quality work going on, quality projects, and probably some good investments now.
Right. And let's talk about exploration, and in particular financing. What have you seen so far this year? Is money going into the juniors, or do you expect that to pick up in the second half?
I don't think it's going to pick up the second half. It'll probably get worse. There is money coming in. It's interesting. It's very, very selective. Very few companies are raising, but the ones that are raising significant amounts, and a lot of times they're raising more than they start off to get. Probably more important, what I've seen starting last year and into this year is that major mining companies are starting to fund grassroots exploration through joint ventures or placements into junior companies. So that's a big change. I think that's an important change.
All right. And how much does it matter in the exploration sector, investors' sentiment, and how metal prices are performing? Should investors pay attention to that, or should they concentrate more on the numbers and the facts of the projects?
Certainly with investor interest as low as it is right now, and metal prices for the most part heading south, and the lack of interest in this sector, you can't help but not pay attention to it. But what that does do is it comes down to your second part, that you need to look at the data. Facts actually do matter, despite what we might hear from the south of here. And you can evaluate a property now project with more data than you could previously and still buy the stock at a reasonable price or less price. A lot of times companies are putting out news and it's seen by investors or shareholders as a liquidity event, just to get out of this. I don't want to see this anymore. And they might be throwing away some good stuff. And so it's not a bad time, but you got to know what you're looking at.
Right. And is there a particular geographical area that you like right now, or that you think has potential?
Not specifically. I think the same mineral belts that have produced major world-class deposits all over the world. So I'm not geographically focused per se. I'm size focused. I'm looking for belts of rocks like the Andes, parts of Africa, Australia. I actually went and looked at a project in Japan that looked pretty interesting, but that can produce large deposits that are major worldwide. That's my target.
Right. And last time we spoke, we talked about some of the mistakes investors can make when looking to invest in a particular company. We talked about resource estimates, numbers, but this time I wanted to ask about the teams behind a project. Are there any tips to find a company that will have a dream team management that could deliver results?
Yeah, that's certainly critical when it's so hard to raise money right now. And I think if you're looking at a team, the geologic side of it, the technical side of it, you want to invest in people who have been working in whatever belt of rocks it is, be it, say, let's call it Patagonia, who've been working there for years and have a deep understanding of the subtle controls to mineralization, as well as how to work with the local people, the environment, that sort of thing. So you want to invest with a team that knows where they're at, what they're doing, and done it for a long time. Ditto manage the financial side of things. You want a team that's headed by people who have the connections to go out and talk to the right people to raise money or get the share price moving.
Right, and we're in the summer right now. The market is not as great. What is the best way to approach this season?
I think what I'm doing personally, is what our letter's about, is I'm going to start or continue buying a few companies that I know well and have the cash to carry out their program for a couple of years at least, with the expectation that I can buy it today, and there's a good chance in a month I can buy it for a less price. So I'm kind of thinking average gallon. I'll never get the bottom, right? But as long as I'm getting what I think is a good deal, you can start establishing positions in these companies at what in the end will be a good deal.
All right, and my last question for you today, what are your top stocks for the rest of the year and why do you like those companies?
Okay, so our newsletter, Exploration Insights, Joe Mazumdar and stuff, that's what it's about, is what we're buying. So I'm reluctant to give you everything. But the most recent stock that I personally bought is a company called Azucar. And it's spun out of Almadex. They've got a copper gold project in southern Mexico. The geologic and geophysical and geochemical characteristics suggest it's a big, if they tell me it's a big system, multiple intrusive centers and that sort of thing. Newcrest put money in they put $19 million in at a valuation which valued that company at $100 million. It's traded down 30% since then. Same company, same project, same amount of money. That to me is one you want to just sort of try and average down in over the summer.
All right, thank you so much for joining us today, Brent.
You're welcome.
All right. Once again, I'm Priscilla Barrera with the Investing News Network, and this is Brent Cook of Exploration Insights.